Just moments ago, something none of us expected happened. Yu Long, the famously private superstar, stunned fans worldwide by proposing to Yang Mei-Mei, and it was all caught live. In the middle of what seemed like a routine shoot, he dropped to one knee, his voice trembling as he confessed, "I don't care if the world watches, because loving you isn't a secret anymore." Yang Mei-Mei's shocked tears turned into joy as she whispered yes, and the internet broke. Fans flooded the livestream, hashtags exploded, and hearts everywhere melted. This wasn't a staged spectacle. This was love, raw and real, broadcast to millions. Could this be the most beautiful celebrity proposal we've ever witnessed? Stay tuned as we uncover every detail behind this once-in-a-lifetime moment. As the word yes slipped past Yang Mei-Mei's trembling lips, it felt like time itself froze. For a heartbeat, there was nothing but the raw, unscripted emotion between them, the kind of love that feels both delicate and unbreakable all at once. Yu Long's hand shook as he gently slipped the ring onto her finger. Fans noticed his breath hitch, a subtle but telling sign that even a man known for his calm charm was completely overcome by the moment. The live comments section turned into a waterfall of heart emojis, OMG messages, and stunned confessions from viewers who admitted they were crying too hard to type. Yang Mei-Mei then did something that surprised everyone. Instead of speaking, she reached up and wiped away Yu Long's tears, tears he hadn't even realized had fallen. Her voice quivered as she whispered, "I thought this day would never come, but you proved me wrong." For a few seconds, there was silence on set, a silence louder than any cheer. The camera caught every detail, the way Yu Long squeezed her hands, the way Yang Mei-Mei smiled through her tears, and the quiet awe on the faces of the crew who had stepped back to let the couple have their moment. Then, in a moment that sent fans into total meltdown, Yu Long pulled her into an embrace so tender yet so protective it looked like something from a movie, except this was heartbreakingly real. "I promise," he whispered, "you will never have to wait or wonder again." Almost as if scripted by fate itself, confetti from the photo set's decorations fluttered around them, landing softly on Yang Mei-Mei's hair. She laughed, still crying, and Yu Long gently brushed the pieces away. The combination of tears, laughter, and raw happiness made it even more breathtaking. And just when viewers thought it couldn't get any more intimate, Yang Mei-Mei laid her head against Yu Long's chest and whispered something that only the mic barely caught. "We finally get to be us." Without hiding. The livestream continued rolling. Viewers were transfixed, nobody dared look away. Even after the proposal, the two stayed close, hands intertwined, faces glowing with relief and joy. Yang Mei-Mei looked at Yu Long the way someone looks at home after a long, tiring journey. And Yu Long? His eyes never left hers, as though he couldn't believe she was really his. Fans quickly clipped and reposted every second across social media. Hashtag Yu Long proposal and hashtag Yang Mei-Mei yes started trending globally within minutes. But what truly stole hearts everywhere was the quiet, genuine nature of it all. No lavish stage, no flashy choreography, just two souls promising each other forever, live, and unfiltered. As the stream ended, the camera caught one last moment, Yang Mei-Mei resting her forehead gently against Yu Long's, whispering, "Forever starts now." Viewers held their breath, screenshots flooded every fan page, and the world collectively melted. The internet is on fire right now, and fans can barely breathe. Just minutes ago, an unexpected live broadcast began circulating online, revealing what no one saw coming: Yu Long, the famously private superstar, down on one knee, proposing to Yang Mei-Mei in a moment so raw and genuine it silenced even his harshest critics. It all started innocently. Fans tuned into what seemed like a casual behind-the-scenes livestream from what many believed was just another brand shoot featuring the couple. But within seconds, the atmosphere shifted. Yu Long's normally calm voice began to tremble, and his eyes, usually steady and unreadable, shimmered with nervous excitement. The camera caught it all. A hidden velvet box slipping from his pocket, Yang Mei-Mei's shocked gasp, and the collective gasp of millions watching worldwide. Fans flooded comment sections, typing so fast the chat box nearly crashed. Some viewers claimed they were shaking so hard they could barely hold their phones. And when Yu Long finally spoke, the word stunned everyone. I've hidden my heart behind scripts, cameras, and schedules, but it always led back to you. Will you make me the happiest man alive and say yes?" Yang Mei-Mei stood frozen, hands covering her mouth, tears streaming down her cheeks. And then, just as the live feed nearly glitched from the flood of viewers, she whispered a tearful, trembling yes. What made it even more shocking? This proposal wasn't in a private garden or fancy event. It was right on set, surrounded by a small team, raw and unfiltered. It wasn't scripted, wasn't edited, it was just love, pure and terrifyingly honest. Immediately, hashtags exploded across the internet. Hashtag Yulong proposal, hashtag Yang Mei-Mei yes, hashtag lip proposal, hashtag real love. Clips from the livestream began trending in seconds. Fans from all over the world confessed in comments that they'd never felt so emotionally invested in a celebrity relationship. And just when viewers thought they couldn't cry more, Yulong's voice broke slightly as he added, "I don't care if the world watches, because loving you isn't a secret anymore." The ring itself? A delicate vintage piece that insiders say Yulong personally designed, engraved with the words, "Forever." As the video replayed endlessly, fans noticed every small detail: Yang Mei-Mei's trembling hands, Yulong wiping her tears, the staff quietly stepping back to let them have the moment, and even Yang Mei-Mei's whisper of "I've waited so long," before nodding yes. The authenticity, the raw emotion, and the unexpectedness of it all turned this into one of the most unforgettable moments in entertainment history. Viewers weren't just witnessing a proposal. They were witnessing two souls who, despite fame's bright lights and the shadows of rumors, chose each other in front of millions, fearlessly, honestly, and live. As the livestream ended, the air around Yulong and Yang Mei-Mei seemed to shimmer with a mix of disbelief and joy. They stepped away from the bright camera lights into a quieter backstage area, hearts still racing, breath still uneven. Yang Mei-Mei clung to Yulong's arm, her engagement ring catching the soft backstage light. For the first time, without millions of eyes watching, they let themselves truly feel the gravity of what had just happened. Yang Mei-Mei wiped a fresh tear from her cheek, whispering, "Did that really just happen? Did we really?" Yulong smiled, leaning his forehead against hers. "It's real, Mei-Mei. You're mine now. Truly, officially, forever." His voice cracked slightly, betraying the strong, composed image fans usually saw. The crew, who had gathered quietly in the background, couldn't help but clap softly. Some were wiping away their own tears, moved by the raw sincerity they had just witnessed. The couple exchanged grateful nods, but their eyes kept drifting back to each other, as if making sure the other wouldn't suddenly disappear. Soon, they were escorted to a private lounge where a small, surprise celebration had been arranged by Yulong's close friends and family. Balloon spelling "She Said Yes" swayed gently above a low table covered in flowers and candles. When Yang Mei-Mei saw it, she gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. Yulong whispered into her ear, "They've all known for weeks. I couldn't wait to show them you'd say yes." Yang Mei-Mei playfully hit his arm, but her eyes sparkled with gratitude. One of Yulong's sisters hugged Yang Mei-Mei tightly, saying, "Welcome to the family, officially this time." Yang Mei-Mei's voice trembled as she replied, "I still can't believe this is real." Then, the room went quiet when Yulong raised a small glass of champagne. He spoke, his voice calm but filled with depth. "To Mei-Mei, my partner, my love, my peace. Thank you for believing in us, even when it was hard." Yang Mei-Mei's eyes filled again as she clinked her glass gently against his. "And to you," she replied, "for proving that love can survive anything." Outside the private room, reporters had already gathered, cameras ready, flashes blinking through the hallway. But for a few precious moments, Yulong and Yang Mei-Mei stayed in their bubble, ignoring the world. Then came a quieter moment that fans never saw live. Yulong took her hand and turned it over, tracing the lines on her palm. "Everything we've been through brought us here," he whispered. Mei-Mei nodded silently, tears rolling down her face. Yulong leaned closer. "I promise to protect this love. Even from myself." His words hung in the air, heavy and raw, making Yang Mei-Mei break into sobs as she wrapped her arms around his waist. In the background, one of Yu Long's friends captured a candid photo. The two of them, heads together, holding each other like the world outside didn't exist. As the private celebration wrapped up, the weight of what had just happened truly began to sink in. Yu Long took a quiet breath, turned to Yang Mei-Mei, and softly asked, "Are you ready to face them now?" Yang Mei-Mei hesitated for a moment, gripping his hand tightly. Outside that door was an army of reporters, flashing cameras, live streams, and millions waiting to see what she'd say, what she'd wear, how she'd react. But then she nodded, "Yes, as long as you're beside me." Hand in hand, they stepped out into the hallway where reporters instantly closed in. The questions came like a flood. Was the proposal planned? When is the wedding? Yang Mei-Mei, how do you feel? Yu Long, what made you choose this moment? Yu Long, still glowing with adrenaline, kept his answers simple but heartfelt. "It wasn't just a plan, it was a promise I've been waiting to make for a long time," he said. His words, humble and raw, made even the most hardened reporters pause. Yang Mei-Mei, her voice trembling, managed a soft, "I didn't know it would be tonight, but I've always known it would be him." Fans watching live felt their hearts clench at that moment. Comments flooded every streaming platform. "This is real love. Look at her eyes, she's shaking. He really did it on live, legend." Soon after, Yu Long wrapped his arm protectively around her as they walked to the waiting car. Even behind the tinted glass, cameras caught a glimpse of Yang Mei-Mei resting her head on his shoulder, visibly overwhelmed yet radiant. Inside the car, silence fell for a moment. Then Yu Long whispered with a playful smile, "You didn't faint." "I'm proud." Yang Mei-Mei laughed through her tears, softly punching his arm. "You didn't give me time to faint." Later that evening, away from the crowd, they had a quieter, private moment at Yu Long's home. He poured her tea, the simple, gentle act feeling more intimate than anything. Mei-Mei traced the rim of the cup absent-mindedly, looking up at him. "Do you think they'll accept us?" "Truly?" she asked. Yu Long took her hand, "They already have. And those who don't, they will, once they see how real this is." Just then, Yu Long's phone buzzed. It was a message from his manager, trending #1 in 5 countries. "Congratulations." He turned the screen to show her. Mei-Mei gasped, covering her mouth, overwhelmed by the realization that their love story was now the world's headline. "Are you okay with all this attention?" Yu Long asked gently. "As long as it's us, yes," she replied, her voice steady now. By midnight, the internet was ablaze with snapshots of the proposal, slow-motion edits of her teary yes, and endless fan edits calling it the moment of the year. In those quiet hours, sitting together under the soft glow of a living room lamp, Yu Long promised her again, "This isn't just for tonight. It's forever." And Yang Mei-Mei, looking into his eyes, whispered, "Then let's make forever beautiful." Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and turn on your notification bell for more updates on your favorite celebrities.